we all been through it, man. You'll make it. Obviously, there's, we believe in God, right? So we feel like there's the God component to it, to where, we feel like that's super, super important in our marriage, and that's how we feel like that's what we kind of channel to kind of help us along the way. But in the space, man, in the space of what you guys do, we talk to a lot of marriages. Where do you guys think marriages are struggling the most, if you had to guess? What area?
I think the struggle is
Hey, what's going on, fam? This your boy Kevin.
Tanya.
Hey, man, we coming to you with another episode of Couples Connect. And man, I tell you what, we've been doing this now. We're in 3 seasons, boo.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been talking to some amazing couples. And I don't think tonight gonna be any different, man. I think we got another amazing couple that's gonna kind of bring you guys some knowledge and drop some nuggets. So get your pen and pad ready. It's going down. We got none other, man, than Mr. Virgil and Miss Erica in the building with us on this episode of Couples Connect. What's going on, good people? How y'all doing, baby?
Hello, we're doing fine.
good, Kev. How you doing, man?
Man, it's all good. Virg, hey, Virg, you know what? Let me just break this down, Virg. You so laid back, brother. You just be kicking, just chilling, just doing your own thing in your own world, your own vibe. And I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it.
If my life was any better, it'd probably be doing something illegal, man. I'm loving what I do.
I love it, man. I love it. Well, check it out, man. So Tanya and I have gotten the pleasure to kind of chat with you guys a little bit and get to know you guys, just a little bit of your story and a little bit more about you guys. But maybe some of our viewers don't know who you guys are. Maybe they don't follow the content. Why don't you tell the people a little bit about you guys, man? How long y'all been married? Where y'all at? Any kids? What's y'all story? Just a little bit in a nutshell, real quick.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, we've been married for 30 years. It'll be 31 years this year. And
Wow.
I know.
I agree with you on
I
that.
know. Three adult children, 27, 25, and 22. And we are loving this stage of life. Been together for 34 years. And yeah, we just hanging. Love
Right.
new stage of life.
We live in Huntsville, Alabama. We moved here about 14 years ago. Probably one of the best decisions we've made, no doubt.
Gotcha. And if I can remember correctly, Erica, Huntsville probably wasn't your top wasn't your top location that you originally wanted to move to?
No, it was not my top location. I'm originally from Atlanta, but I knew back then my kids could not handle Atlanta. Them little suburban kids. So we wanted to come back south, and so he chose Huntsville, and I was like, okay, if you say so.
It's a secret that we don't want to share, I can tell you. Huntsville's a great place.
Now everybody's hearing about it.
There you go.
Is that where love and marriage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, Al Bundy? Was it? What you talking
No,
about? Love and marriage?
Not love
And marriage? That's not.
No.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Love and marriage, Huntsville.
Huntsville.
Oh.
Yes. It's a reality show. I don't watch it, but I remember it coming out a long time ago. I think we've watched it.
Yeah, they've been doing it for a while now.
I think 2018 or 19. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It was getting really messy when we watched it.
Yeah. I think there's other spinoffs. There's other Love and Marriage, other cities now, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are all your kids out of the home right now?
No.
All except the 22-year-old. She is here. Bless it. She's still here. She works at night. So
Okay.
he works it out.
I'm gonna buy our house here pretty soon though. We're gonna figure something out. Turn
well, that's
the electricity and the water off during the day. That'll get her motivated to go find somewhere to live.
But everybody else is gone except her. So she is here and she says she's not moving. Yeah.
Is she the only girl?
Yes.
Okay.
Our other 2 boys are in the military, so they say they're never coming back.
Okay.
I said,
Makes sense.
I said, okay.
Good.
We good with that.
Oh, good.
So Erica, how we get to this point of having you guys on a podcast? I saw your video, a clip that was on Facebook, and I just thought that you guys were a great couple for Kevin and I to have on our podcast. It was just, and I've gone back to look at some of your content, and your content is amazing when it comes to you and your husband and how you guys love on each other, and you're so sweet toward one another. How did that come about? What made you decide to start this, and what is the name of your? Are you only on Facebook?
We on Instagram.
Instagram and Facebook.
And
Okay.
I actually just got on Facebook a couple months ago. And
Oh well, you firing up on Facebook.
yeah, Facebook and Instagram totally different though. They will eat you alive on Facebook.
Okay.
They comment. How did we get started? We got started a couple years ago. I've always wanted to do something with social media as my outlet to kind of put what I wanted to say out there. Whether it's just talking about my story from back in the day, childhood to starting marriage. And I asked Virgil to do how this content got started. I asked Virgil to do YouTube with me back in 21. And he was like, okay, as long as I can eat wings. And I was like, okay. And people started saying, "Are y'all trying to be like Tab and Chance?" I was like, no, I don't think so." Because they were just starting to come out too with their YouTube Friday nights. But it's just something I wanted to do with him. And because he's not a big talker, and if I can get him to talking.
Well, it was kind of at the back end of COVID, and she said she wanted me to do it, and I said if I'll do it if I can eat wings while we're doing this talk. So it became a big thing. Every Thursday on my way home, I'd stop and get some wings from somewhere in the city. We'd start talking. I'd eat. I'd stop eating for a second to say a few words, and then that's how it was.
And I think he enjoyed it.
I enjoyed the carte blanche of going to get wings every Thursday. You know, and it became a lot of fun to address some of the questions that either we got from folks or something that we came up with. Something happened during the week that I say, "Oh, this is interesting. Let's talk about this." It became a lot of fun. This, what she's doing, I'm not on there every post, but the ones that I'm on, I have a good time, and we've gotten pretty good feedback from it.
Yeah.
Good deal, man. So I'm curious. 30 plus years in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Erica, how did Virgil? How did he propose to you? I'm just curious.
Or did you propose to Virgil?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
It wasn't gonna happen.
No. No. My Virgil had moved to Pensacola and in the Navy, and I was still in Atlanta. And I went down one weekend to visit, and he proposed after we got home from a crawfish.
We were at a buddy's
crawfish
yeah.
boil, and he asked me to marry him, and I don't even know if I let him get the words out. He was like, "Will you marry me?" Yes. And my mom was like, "I knew that was going to be the time that he was going to ask you to marry him." So, but we had dated for 4 years.
Yeah.
So it was.
My time in Pensacola was coming to an end, and I knew that I was either going to get married then, or I don't know what. So it was a perfect time. So there it was. We got married. We got married
94.
in 94, November 94, and then we left Pensacola in January.
Yep.
Yeah.
Virgil, what made you finally get to the point to like this woman here? She's the one. I'm ready to put a ring on it. What?
I probably knew early on, yeah, that she was the one. We had a great time together. We laughed a lot. We enjoyed each other's company. And I graduated from college in August. I went to aviation officer candidate school in October, and I didn't graduate until March. Uh, I went to flight school, so I was probably halfway through flight school, and I said, "Hey, I've got to propose to get this stable before I start deploying or whatever the case may be." And I knew that we were going to get married, just when, and that was as fine a time as any.
I like it. I like it. So y'all into this whole space of marriage, right? Y'all got the credentials, 30 plus years. You know, y'all been in the game for a minute. And you can't expect someone to be married that long without experiencing some ups and downs in whatever area that may be. What really made you want to? Because I know Erica said she had for a long time you wanted to get into the whole content creation space, do something on social media, and y'all just kind of fell into it. But why marriage? Was there anything particular about that y'all want to display healthy marriage and what that should look like? Was that a particular? Was that real intentional? Because I think Erica, you started first, and then Virgil came a little bit later. Why did the direction go into marriage content?
I think I know it went into marriage content because when Virgil did a post with me, I was posting and I was trying to figure out my way. And people always say, you know what do people normally ask you about all the time? You know, because I feel like sometimes I'm a counselor and people asking me a lot about my marriage. People ask me, what are you doing? How did y'all do that? And it didn't really hit me until me and Virgil did a post and it went bananas. I wasn't expecting that. And I said, Virgil, I think people are asking questions about marriage. And it took off from there. And so ever since then, it's just been displaying healthy relationships, but it's not always peaches and roses. I want people to know that. I mean, we haven't in a long time, but we do get mad. We do get mad, but I think social media has helped me get in tune with me. And I think our relationship has gotten a lot softer.
Yeah, but it also helps that we've been in the game a long time. And I think we're looking forward to when we're both retired and we can travel and have a good time. We travel quite a bit now and not retired, so I can't imagine just how much it'll be when we are retired. Uh, but, man, you see a lot of stuff on social media and they give you a lot of insightful knowledge or their opinion. But I think the basis is you have to want to be married, right? All the advice, all the uh, exercises you can do. If you don't want to be married, it's not going to happen. It's not going to be well, rather. And we have always wanted to be married, especially to each other. And I think that's what's kind of provided the longevity of 30 years.
Yeah. And I think our content is different. People ask, do you script? Our content is not scripted, believe it or not. It's not. It's just a day in the life. Whether Virgil say something off the wall, that is Virgil saying something off. It is not scripted at all.
Folks don't realize the buffoonery in which we talk when we're not on camera. And she will tell me before she can see it in my eyes, I'm about to say something ridiculous. And she's like, don't you say that. And she's right, because I was really about to say something ridiculous. We have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We laugh a lot. And we have a good time. And if we can help somebody, I'd love that. So.
For sure. Do you remember the content or the one that went viral? Do you remember what was that about?
We were in a doorway, and we was going to a cookout, I think. And I said, "Hey, come here, come here." And he stood in front of me, and we were laughing, and that was it.
I don't even think it was talking.
No, it was music.
It was like, when she started, she would stand in a spot in the house and she'd videotape herself. She'd say something maybe. And we were going somewhere and I'm looking at my watch off camera, and she's pointing to me, "Come here," and that was it.
And it just went bananas.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Wow.
hey, you're going to do this with me often. And then, and so people said, hey, you guys need to start going to your comments. And I was like, the comments? I didn't know anything about comments. And so we started going to the comments, and the comments were, yeah. I was missing all the comments.
I love looking through the comments.
Yes. Now,
Some of you have to pick and choose because I could answer every one of them, but
Right.
sometimes she's like, "Yo, do not answer that."
Yeah.
But I still find them very entertaining, and some of them are very insightful, and people are, genuinely enjoying what we do, and I like that part.
Putting yourself out there in social media space, man, it's a very, you got to really.
It's risky.
It's risky.
Yeah.
It really is. Because you're really opening yourself up to the opinions of others who truly don't even know you, right?
Yeah.
So and that could be good or bad in terms of comments. But I'm curious, what are one or two of the craziest comments that you guys have seen?
I will tell you, it was early on. We would always be happy. We would always be laughing. And we got comments, that's not real. And I encourage some of the folks who know us here in Huntsville or wherever we've been to chime in because we act just like this. We did that 30 years ago. Her mom is constantly saying, y'all haven't changed a bit. And this is when we were dating. So I don't know. I don't have an answer for you, Kev. I wish I could put my finger on it and say, this is it. But, love make you do crazy things, man.
But seriously, though, we don't get a lot of negative comments. I don't. I don't think I can count maybe on my hand if I have, but I don't. We don't get a lot of negative comments. We get mostly questions, if anything.
I've got to say this. We get a lot of questions about our kitchen.
Oh yeah,
We get a lot of, not questions.
Oh yeah, you have a beautiful kitchen.
Oh,
Beautiful kitchen.
Thank you. But, that catches the eye of a lot of people. And I'm like, man, they missed the message. They're talking about
the kitchen.
the kitchen. But hey, I'm also amazed sometimes at what people notice, right? It's almost like they're studying the video. They stop it, they blow it up. He had those shoes on yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Or something like I it didn't even register that, that was the case.
Yeah, I don't walk around the house with shoes on. What you
No, you don't. You leave them in one spot in the kitchen. Yeah.
And I don't walk around the house with shoes on, and they're like, "Oh, you got your toenails painted differently. What color is that?" I'm like, "What?"
Wow.
Yeah. I sang
Crazy.
wow. That's right.
Like, can you tell me the color of that? I'm going to get a pedicure tomorrow. I'm like, okay, that really wasn't what the message was about.
Hey, when you put yourself out there, man, you open it up for people to, yeah.
Everything's fine.
Yeah. So it's almost like you really have to think that everything that we're showing these people, everything is open game.
Yes.
Everything. You know what I'm saying? So because I can see that some people stopping, pausing, blowing it up, all day.
Well, you're just an influencer, so you are an influencer in every area. Your home,
I don't know about that.
your toes. I mean,
I guess I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you something, Tanya.
Tanya is fine.
Tanya, I'm gonna tell you. I always tell Erica, I am amazed that people want to hear what we gotta say or they ask us questions because it's just us. We're not, thinking we're something that we're not. But I'm just amazed and grateful that they like what we do. But I'm amazed that they have comments and they tell us how much they enjoy our content.
And what I think I'm shifting because I have a coach, and my coach said,
What kind of coach, Erica?
I have a confidence coach, I have a mentor,
Okay.
and she said, you have got to stop. So, if anybody out there listening, you have got to stop saying that you are amazed that people want to hear from you, or you are amazed that you have great content. You have got to know that. You got to know that, why are you doing this? And every time I say, I'm not doing this for me, I'm doing this to help someone else. Every time I put a piece of content out there, I mean, I could be missing a nail. I mean, I don't care, because it's not about the nail. It's about the message that I'm trying to put out there. So I think that's why our content is good content. It's not scripted. It is to put out there. When I'm talking about the soft life, it's about, you've got to want to change that, because being a woman, a strong woman, and Tanya, I know you can attest to this, that we can take care of ourselves. We can take care of ourselves. But if you allow your husband or your partner to take care of you because they want to, don't think that you're losing your independence. Let them do that for you.
Yeah.
What does that look like, Erica? As far as like letting your husband take care of you?
For instance, we all have our strengths. So I do something, he does something. One thing that he does, I don't book vacations. I will not book a vacation. I don't schedule one. I don't. I let him do all of that. I don't have to be in charge. He just tell me, we're going somewhere hot. This the dates we're going. See if you can get off work. I don't ask how much stuff costs, because I really don't care. Because
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I don't, because I
We sending the wrong message.
know what I mean. No, when I say I don't care, I know that he's staying within our budget. So who am I to say, oh, I don't want to go here because it costs little or it costs too much? I'm just going to sit back and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Tell me something. 30 plus years in the game. What if? Do you feel that? Where have you seen Erica grown the most? Because we feel that every, there are seasons. You change. You're not the same people when you got married. We talk about that a lot on the podcast. What are some of the major things you've seen where Erica has grown, Virgil, throughout the years that you can appreciate?
Well, when we were dating and when we first got married, her experience was Atlanta. She had never lived or been a whole lot of places other than Atlanta. And I don't know, she was a little bit sheltered in Atlanta because that's what she knew. And she had her spots that she would go to. She has grown tremendously with how she uh, interacts socially. I think that's one of the bigger points, because when we first got engaged, uh, our first conversation was, I said, listen,
Mm.
I'm going to have to deploy. I'm going to be gone for a long time. You're going to have to fend for yourself, right? I'm gone for 6 months or gone for however long. You're going to have to be a big girl and take care of business at the house. And she did more than just take care of business. I mean, we had a child, I had to leave. We had 2 kids, I had to leave. I had 3 kids, I had to leave. And that last kid, she went back and finished her degree while I was gone and with 3 kids. I think that is one of the more impressive things that's happened. But now she has broadened her um, horizons, because she's somewhat of the entrepreneur in the family. She started a business while I was busy. I've had a lot of jobs in the Navy. I had a lot of jobs in the Navy where it took a lot of my time. And she has benefited from my time gone and has really excelled. She started a daycare for in our house for a couple of years. Then she started her own business, and then we got here. We started another business, which we're still running, and then social media. So I think the social aspect is the first thing that she's growing at, and then just to put herself out there is the second. I think that is a big step for her.
Wow.
Isn't that what you told me?
That ain't what I said.
Erica, do you feel like was there some hesitation to put yourself out there into the whole social media space?
Um,
And if so, why?
at first it was because I was scared of what people would say. You know, scared of why you why are you telling all your business online? And I didn't really think it was all my business. Um, but now I've shifted because my business that I put out there is to help other people. So I've done a mindset shift. It's it, it's a mindset shift. So I don't care if people see little bits of my home or Virgil giving me a kiss, or if I talk about therapy, or that it's about helping someone else. So when Virgil said that, I think just being around different people socially while he in the military has helped me. I have grown so much. I feel um, just being around different people because I was nervous to be the only black lady wherever we went. I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm like, wow, and because there wasn't a lot of black pilots where we went, and I was like, I'm like the only one, but that was new for me. That was new, and but it changed me because it changed my whole mindset. So doing social media, I was scared, but no.
Erica, if I can just have that mindset shift when it comes to doing social media in just about everything that I want to do, especially with telling my story, and especially when I was growing up as a kid, my teenage years, and my family dynamic with my mom and my dad and all of that. I mean, it's such a story because I come from, you wouldn't even believe, and to be where I am now with my husband and our children, that just didn't look like my destiny
Yeah.
back then. So I'm asking for that mindset set shift because I know it's gonna help. It would help somebody, right? That's coming along the way.
I,
So go ahead.
I think it helps here with me, and people think when people see you out in public or on social media, or when I'm with Virgil, people think, oh, she's so perfect. I'm guessing they think people think whatever they want, but you know I know it can't be this. So for people to hear, girl, I've been to therapy for 11 years. I had to do something to change my mindset, and people look at you differently, like, wow, oh, so people never know your story and where you come from. So
Yeah.
I want people to know it was a lot of work to get here. It wasn't like I was with a silver spoon. I mean, I grew up in the projects of Atlanta. Um, and
But people love ratchetness.
Yeah.
Right? Ratchetness sells. The more ratchet you can get, the more you can sell. And I think the fact that we're less ratchet, which makes people not believe that we're being genuine. You know.
Yeah. So it's crazy how that's not like a normal thing to see people happy,
Yeah.
right? Especially couples.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not. It's not.
Especially black couples.
Especially black couples, right? It ain't normalized to the point to where it's just because most. I mean, if you take me and Tanya, and I don't know, maybe with you guys as well, coming out of a home, I mean, it had its challenges, but there was still a lot of love, joy, and we've I've seen this she grew up a little bit different. The projects are New Orleans, so you know what I'm saying. So she feel you, Erica.
Yeah.
I grew up in a project too, but
His project looked like
when I went to her projects, where she was,
You were happy when you had that.
hey, it's Virgil. Hey,
I used to have to meet him on a corner
Oh,
up the street, 2 blocks down,
oh,
because he didn't want to come to the
Virgil.
project.
I listen. When we were dating, I used to tell her I would not stop the car when I used to go pick her up. I would drive by. I'm gonna slow down,
You just
got
and I'm gonna need you to jump in the car, and I'm keeping it moving. Hey, it was her project was different than mine.
yeah.
But anyway, but to the point is, it's like people don't see. A lot of people just don't see the happiness and the joy of marriages, and I think, like you said, that's why they just really feel like y'all situation. It could be not a factual type situation that you guys have, right? And I think that I struggled with the fact that I remember I wanted to do content very similar, just in the same space of promoting marriages, showing, but I felt like that very thing, like people ain't gonna believe what it, and I didn't want to get in a space where, well, first of all, my wife sometimes she's not in the content creating mood, so so for us to for us to do this together, hey,
Bored, yeah.
we got to be on board. We both got to be on board,
Yeah.
because they really would have got the real. They would have got some. We ain't always happy. This is real. This is live reality right here, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But
Trying. I guess I'm trying.
she's trying. She's trying to come out of that, and create more content and stuff like that. Because this is our space, right? You guys doing the videos and stuff like that on social media. That's your way of giving back to the community of marriages, to say, hey, this is what marriage should be, or this is what it could be, right? And I think the podcast for us, this is our space. This is what we chose to kind of really put good, positive vibes out into the world, into the marriage world, to say, hey, man, look, we all go through this thing. We all go through ups and downs. Ain't no one is, exempt from the challenges and the trials of married life, right? So we feel like at some point, them wedding vows, through sickness and health, rich or poor, at some point you might experience one or two of them, if not all of them, right?
That is correct.
So, and we try to just highlight some of those things, man, and let people know that, hey, we all been through it, man. You'll make it. Obviously, there's, we believe in God, right? So we feel like there's the God component to it, to where, we feel like that's super, super important in our marriage, and that's how we feel like that's what we kind of channel to kind of help us along the way. But in the space, man, in the space of what you guys do, we talk to a lot of marriages. Where do you guys think marriages are struggling the most, if you had to guess? What area?
I think the struggle is they think marriage is somewhat of a fantasy, what they see on TV. There's a bunch of people sitting around a room writing this to make it absolutely perfect. According to Virgil, so, marriage, people think it's just love. Love is good for the first 2 weeks. After those 2 weeks, it's a forced march. It's compromise. You have got to be ready to fight for, your marriage, your mate. It's not easy after that first 2 weeks of love starts to wear out, and you get tired of him leaving his socks, or you get tired of her having hair in the sink, whatever the case may be. You just got to figure out a way to get around it and want to be married. I keep saying you got to want to be married, but I think wanting to be married, wanting to stay married is a key that for successful marriages.
Totally agree. I think that's one of the biggest component, even almost what love. a lot of people say, I love my spouse. I love my spouse.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can love a person and still feel like, hey, I love you so much to where I'm willing to like let you go and let you,
Yes.
you're right. I love you that much to let you go, right? But though I want to be married, right? I want to be in this thing. It almost, I don't want to say it trumps love, but it's like it's a whole, you gotta want it, man.
Yes.
And I think that's just super important. So that's a great point. I totally agree with that. You want to say something, Erica?
I was just saying, I think the challenges you asked the challenges, right? Right? Was that the question? Was
Yeah.
that the question?
Yes.
The challenge.
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
the challenges today, people are getting married older. They're not getting married as young. Um, and the way they're to me, I feel with the ladies that I talk to, they're not willing to, or even the man, they're not willing to, they're willing to say, I do, but you saying I do, but you really don't trust that person enough to let that person all in. For as, nope, he can't know how much money I have. No, we married, but you're willing to say I do. So why don't you trust him? Why don't you trust her? So, and I think that's a challenge. So now you got two people together, but you still got that gap,
Got someone with a wall
a
up.
wall up.
Yeah.
But you're willing to say I do, and marriage is more than I do.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, man. It seemed like our podcast episodes, one podcast always bleeds into the next, and I'm pretty sure you guys' podcast will bleed into the next one that we do after you guys. But the last podcast we talked about the very thing, Erica, and it was more about people coming together as two individuals,
Mm-hmm.
right? And when they get together, the idea is that they become one.
Mm-hmm.
But even in the beginning, they continue to operate as two separate individuals, and that's where the tug of war becomes, a problem because they're still operating on every, like you said, she don't want to let him in about the money and this and that. In the beginning, we should have that money situation should already be locked in. Like,
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying? Before we say I do, we should already know how the money situation gonna flow, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So trying to tackle some of those major issues after you say I do, that's a major issue. You should tackle a lot of those stuff on the front end,
Yeah.
before you say I do.
That's also for young people. Nowadays the credit cards, young people are getting into debt early. You ask her to marry you, Kev, and then you get married and she tells you she's $30,000 in credit card. That ain't gonna work.
That
We gotta go see a judge or something, man. That ain't. I'm sorry.
So let me tell you a story. A story is you mentioning that. So when we got married, I was a shopper. Like I love to shop. And Virgil, I feel like some people do now. I feel like, okay, am I living a fantasy? Because Virgil, he has his ducks in a row. I mean, what you see on social is Virgil. So he said, uh, so we're married now. I need you to write down. People don't know this, but I need you to write down everybody you owe. And then I'm going to write down everybody I owe. So we'll know what kind of bills that I'm going to have to pay. Because mind you, I didn't have a job. I moved from Atlanta with Virgil. And so I was writing down, like Macy's and all these department stores that I had. And he was finished writing, and I'm still writing. I'm like, whoa. And Virgil, believe it or not, Virgil had a debt of $100.
Wow.
$100. My debt was like $5,000 back then in '94. $5,000 was
That's a lot of money.
and he's looking at me like, what?
And
I was,
part of that 5,000 was your mama wash and dryer, which I still hadn't gotten over.
and so I had to pay. He had to pay off that debt, but he said, "Let me tell you, I'm gonna help you pay this off. You better not spend another dime without asking me because this $5,000. Do you know we're not gonna be able to eat tomorrow?"
Yeah. I was scared. Listen, I am afraid of being broke. I
Mm.
be broke. Uh, and listen, once we got that $5,000 paid off, the next thing was we had to buy a house. And when the lady told me that we were at closing and she said our mortgage was $659 a month, I almost choked. I said, "You had better not spend $1."
That was in 95.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, it's not them, Erica. I don't even know how we gonna pay this.
I never had any bill that was $659. That's ridiculous.
Wow.
A month.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So
Virgil, you said something very interesting. You said, I am afraid of being broke.
Yep.
Why is that? And I love the statement, and I wish more people felt that way. Like, I'm afraid of being broke, right? But I think a lot of people, depending on circumstances, environments, that play a role in your mindset.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot. It's a whole lot that goes into, you know, the whole financial component. You know, just not knowing, the lack of,
Yeah.
financial literacy. It's a problem. So why do you say I'm scared of being broke?
I like things. And when I want things, I want to be able to go get things. I can, maybe I want a new pair of shoes. I go to the store and those shoes are $119. I'll change my mind. It'll take me a year to buy those shoes. By the time I get ready to buy them, they were on sale and they only got a 7.5.
that's happened a lot.
I don't know. I don't know where it came from. I don't know why I am like that. But I don't have a problem spending money. I'm gonna share something with you real quick. I love Lululemon. I wear Lululemon every day, and it's not the cheapest stuff, but I like what I like. Now I'll eat a sandwich to save enough to get a Lululemon hat or something. No, I won't. But I like when I want to get it, Kev. I want to be able to go to the store and get it. Right. I don't want to just spend, and then when I really find something that I want, oh, we can't get this. We got to wait until we get paid next month.
And
That I don't want.
and what he just shared with you is what Virgil has shared with me since we have been married. Always been, listen, 5 years from now, this is what we're gonna do. Okay, we got 3 more years, then we get there. Okay, 3 more years from now, this is where we're gonna be. And so he has always had that mindset of, this is where we're gonna be. This is what we're doing. I think you're gonna like it. So it's just, when people say not putting your money together, we've always talked about goals. We've always been on that same path. Hey, I want this house when we move and retire. I want everybody. We kind of wrote it down, and we followed that path, and I think
Yeah, we were early on in our marriage. We went to my commanding officer had a party at his house, and we went to this house. I'm from rural Alabama. She's from we'll say projects of Atlanta, and we go to this house, and it's the biggest house I've ever been in,
ever since.
and we couldn't stop just looking around.
We were like this.
Oh my god! And we had a 30-minute drive back to the house. For 30 minutes, all we talked about is, man, one day we want to live in a house like that. And we started to save our money, make good financial decisions so we could get a house like that. And I think that put us in a good position. Yeah.
This episode of Couples Connect is sponsored by Just Like You Hair Care System. Introducing Just Like You Hair Care, the perfect solution for healthy, growing, moisturized hair. Our hair growth oil is enriched with essential oils like calendula, lavender, rose petals, also enriched with nourishing jojoba oil, promoting growth, reducing breakage, and restoring scalp health. Follow with our moisturizing leave-in cream to lock in hydration for smooth, manageable hair all day long. So you get to feel confident with thicker, stronger, and deeply moisturized hair. Our products are made with all natural ingredients and is designed for women or anyone who want a holistic approach to hair wellness. Shop today and experience the transformation. Just like your hair care, your hair, your confidence, and your journey. The link is in the show notes. Now back to the episode.
Good deal. I love it, man. I'm gonna circle back around real quick, back to you, Miss Erica, because I asked Virgil, but I want to ask you.
Okay.
In the last years, where have you seen the most growth in in Virgil that you can really appreciate?
The growth that I have seen in Virgil, he's been the same. He's been the same, but the growth is really allowing me to do what I want to do, allowing me to explore. Growth in helping me with therapy, because he's never had to do anything like that. He's never had to deal with anybody mental issues. Not mental issues, but behavioral health. That's what the military calls it. Yeah. Behavioral health, and just being understanding, because I know when we were dating, he was like, his attitude was totally different. But now when we got married, just being there with me, and I don't feel like he was judging me. Take care of what you need to take care of. What can I do to help you? Just by him opening up and allowing me to go through that journey, I think was big. That was huge, because I thought Virgil, I think like most people think on social, Virgil is like this perfect person. But he let it be known that it's okay. Go to therapy. Go do what you need to do. I'm here because we in this together. So just by him just being open and allowing me to do that, allowing me to start businesses, yeah. And then doing social media, I think he has become this fun person, because Virgil was all business. He's now a fun person.
I thank you for saying that I was boring.
No, you weren't
before.
boring. You weren't boring, but Virgil, he was matter of fact. He's like, sink or swim, do this, do that. He's military, and he didn't realize that. And so whenever I made a mistake, I would be like, but now he has relaxed. So I'm more relaxed, and he's really fun.
For 20 years, she followed me around wherever we went. It was all about my career and what was the next best move for us. I don't think there's anything that she could ask me to do now that I would say, nah, we're not doing that. If she said, hey, I think I'm going to make me a spacesuit and try to go to the moon, I would help her, because she has followed me for so long, and it's my turn to support her. So it was no problem with social media. It's no problem with her businesses. Whatever she wants to do, hey, I'm on board.
As it should be, right? As it should be.
And I'm fun.
He's fun.
Now, bourbon helps out a lot, so keep in mind.
Do you actually drink bourbon?
He does. I don't.
Good.
You can't.
Oh.
I would turn the light. I'm glad I didn't have the light on for it, Ken. You be on your way up here. I started a bourbon collection about
in 20.
Yeah, about 5 years ago. And
wow.
It's going strong.
No, I don't drink bourbon.
Virgil, you mentioned that you're a pilot.
I am. I'm not an active pilot right now.
Okay. Were you a commercial pilot or military?
In the Navy. I was a Navy pilot.
Okay.
No, he wasn't a commercial pilot. He I really married him because I thought he was going to be a commercial pilot. And I was like, no. So when he retired from the military, as a naval officer, I was like, oh, now he's getting ready to go fly for the airlines now. and he changed his mind. And I was kind of upset.
Well, I didn't change
But-
my mind. You know, the airline is all about timing, and my timing could not have been worse. At the time I retired, they weren't hiring a lot of folks, and I had 3 kids, a wife, and we needed food, that kind of stuff. So I needed a job. And once I took the job that I have, uh, I weighed the benefits of starting over by getting an airline job years after retiring, or staying with where I am. And staying where I am, I think, has been a great decision.
Yeah.
I don't think we're missing out on anything. Maybe some flying privileges, but I'll buy my own ticket. So that we're good.
Yeah.
So, Erica, you mentioned therapy quite a
Mhm.
few times. Is it okay if I ask you why therapy? Why did you have to go to therapy?
Oh no, it's okay. I didn't know I needed to go to therapy. I realized that my attitude um, around the house and just talking to different people, that I really had maybe some childhood trauma. Talking to Virgil, thinking, I think Virgil said one day, I don't know if you remember this, but he said, I'm not your dad. I'm not your dad. I'm your husband. And it made me think, so I'm asking him to do things that really I wish my dad had done. And I said, I may need to go. I was telling a friend, and she was like, have you ever thought about therapy? And I was like, oh, people don't go to therapy. No. And I went to therapy and it helped me. And Bridget had never went to therapy with me, but just by going to therapy and talking it out, I realized that's what was going on, why I was so unhappy and thinking my marriage was bad. It wasn't my marriage bad. It was me having to change this and me. And that's when it got better. So
I remember I apologized to Kevin some years ago because of my childhood trauma. Um, I looked to him when I realized years later that I was doing this, is when I apologized. But I told him, I said, I am so sorry for treating you or wanting you to be my daddy instead of my husband,
mhm.
because of all the things that I didn't get from my father, which was love and protection and just all sorts of things. Like I was looking for that from him 10 times more.
Yes.
And I had to apologize to him about that. So I understand where you're coming from when you're talking about, or telling Virgil, or him saying to you that I'm not your daddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just realizing that it has helped so much. And I think that's what has made, allowed me to be stronger on social media, because knowing that, I'm enough. I can
Mm,
do this. I am enough. I'm smart enough. I can help someone else. And yeah.
I love it.
So
What kind of strain, because it was something that you were going through, Erica? What kind of strains or issues did it cause, if any, in the marriage?
it caused, you want to say?
Well, she would get upset with me about every other day, right? And
Every
then
day.
and then when she get upset with me, she wouldn't talk to me. When she wouldn't talk to me, I wouldn't talk to her. So and we'd go 2 days where we wouldn't talk to each other. And then it got to the point where I was like, all right, let's see who can wait who out. And then she'd come in and she'd say, hey, I'm sorry. Uh, I didn't mean it, whatever. And then we'd go on about our business. But it would happen every few days.
Yeah.
And then she got her therapy, and then it got better. It never got to the point where, like I said, I was calling divorce attorneys, but it just got to the point where I was like, yo, we're wasting valuable days, time doing this when we only got a finite amount of time on earth. We don't want to waste it walking around here not talking to each other.
Yeah.
How long was that period of y'all dealing with that?
Um, it was a couple years. I think after I went to therapy for about maybe 3 years or so, I could see myself changing for the better. So when I, I didn't realize they had like a little graduation ceremony. So in about 6 years, I graduated. I know it sounds like a long time, but when we moved here, I still was doing therapy and I had a graduation ceremony. And in that graduation ceremony, when she asked me to be in, it was a 6 month long period. She said, I want to put you in a group of, I think it was like 10 of us. And I was like, 10 people? Like I had never shared my story only with her, with my therapist. And we did 6 months, every 2 weeks. We got together and we talked about triggers and we talked about all of that. So I graduated and she was like, I think you have the tools to talk yourself off the ledge when you get up there. But with me and Virgil, our marriage, I think it lasted a couple of years until I actually, when things would happen, I could actually use the tools that was given to me and say, why actually are you upset? Are you upset with Virgil? Are you upset with yourself on how you handled a certain situation? And once I realized, well, it wasn't Virgil, I wish I had have done it this way. But I'm mad because I didn't do it that way. So now I'm going to take it out on him. So I started handling that. So it was a couple of years and things have gotten, I mean, it is better. It's 100% better, I would say, almost.
Yeah, we don't go days without talking to each other now.
Oh, no, I cannot.
Yeah, I like to make her mad so she won't talk to me and tell me to go golfing, and then I come back and solve it.
But I like it when he go golfing.
You like it when he go?
I do.
Why?
Because I think in a marriage you should find you something to do. So when he's golfing, I get to, back in the day, used to love to organize the house because I had my own businesses, so I didn't for 10 years I didn't work outside the home. And so I would organize, I would do the things that I wanted to do. And then I wanted him to come back, and because I felt like the house was my job. So when he come back and I probably went to somebody's house and seen they had their pantry organized a certain way. So then I'll try to organize my pantry and make it, because he went there and said, God, did you see their pantry? And I'm like, oh my God, our pantry look like that too. So while he's gone, I'm just doing things that I want to do. And so now when he goes golfing, I do social media because I like to create content and that give us our own thing.
But that absence make the heart grow fonder is a true statement. I went to the golf course yesterday. Uh, I left the golf course. She left work and ran some errands, and we came back together. And yesterday was one of the best dates we've had in a long time.
I was like, I feel like you courting me. I said, I was like, wow.
She's saying that because I bought her a bunch of drinks. Yeah, that's.
I was like,
No, we
man.
had a great time. We went to a couple of places. We sat around. We people watched. We chit chatted. We laughed, and then we came back to the house. Sat out back, and then hey, she got mad at me because I was falling asleep, and that was that.
I was like, oh,
You old.
Yeah,
but it was good.
yeah. It was
good.
it was a great day. But it all started with me going to do my thing. She did her thing. We came back together, and it was great. You know, when you come back together, you anticipation of seeing your wife, you enjoy her. It was great.
You said something that was interesting even earlier, Virgil, when you said when you were deployed, when you had to leave certain amount of time and leave her, and you mentioned that it was beneficial. It was a benefit to her that you were gone,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt that was a strong statement, right? Because I think a lot of men sometimes, and maybe even women, they love that codependency. They love to want their spouse to, need them and want them there. And but that's a big statement to kind of feel like in my absence, she was at her best. You know what I'm saying? So to say that, man, I just think that was real big, and it just kind of stuck with me when you said it, and it kind of leads into what we're talking about now, like the absence make the heart grows fonder, which is really big. But at the same time, even in that absence, it gives one of the spouses an opportunity to to grow, to find themselves, to nurture, whatever it is that they really love to do, and so it just that whole absence piece is a major thing, man. It's a major thing. It could, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if she was looking forward to it, how she anticipated what was going on, but I knew that I felt comfortable. Hey, I gotta go, and she's got things under control, right? Because in my line of work, if I'm flying and all I'm thinking about is what's going on at home, then I'm not at my best when I've got to fly through some thunderstorms or land late at night or whatever the case may be. When you're flying airplanes, you have to stay in the moment. And the fact that I didn't have to worry about home while I was gone provided some peace of mind for me, and I was able to come back home, so to speak.
Yeah.
And when you say that, Kevin, and I'm gonna go back to Tanya's question too, what she said. He's not my daddy. I have always, and this could, I have always wanted to, since me and Virgil been dating, he's been such a strong person in my life. And I just looked at him like, man, he's so smart. He's this. And I, back in the day, I always wanted to impress Virgil. I wanted to let him know that I can do this. I can do this because my daddy thought that I could not, and I can. So when he told me, I got to go, you got to pay the bills, you've got to do this and make sure that our house ain't going in foreclosure. You need to pay these bills.
It was a lot. It was a lot more than just that.
Well, yeah, but
I had no way to do anything, right? She had to do it all.
And so for me to do that, it built up so much confidence, for him to say, you're going to finish your degree if that's what you want to do. And I remember him saying, now you can finish it here, but we're not going to keep transferring classes and you finishing, every time we move somewhere, you enrolling in school. So let's knock this thing out. If you want your degree, finish it, get it done. We got 2 years. We're 2 years here. You can do this in 2 years. And I said, ooh, I don't think I can. I'm thinking that. But I said, you know what? I am going to impress him and I am going to finish this. So I was making it about Virgil, but it was really building up something in me that back then I didn't know. But now I do. And now I feel like I can do anything. I can do anything.
And therapy has helped you with that, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I was going to ask, what is it that therapy has really helped you with, like your tools, and what kind of confidence that it has given you? And you just said part of it is that you're more confident now that you can take on things and do it. Are you still trying to impress Virgil, or now it's about okay?
No, I think I've already done.
Tanya, the older I get, the harder it is to impress.
Oh, no, the tools that I can use is when I find myself getting to a point that I'm okay to say, hey, Virgil, I need a minute. Where back then, he didn't understand what a minute, what you need.
That's a great point.
What you need a minute? What you talking about? You need a minute.
Yeah.
And now I'm getting really frustrated. But now when I say, hey, I need a minute, I don't know why, but I do. And he's like, cool, got it. And now he knows how to do that. So me being able to say that and be okay with saying that, and he not looking at me crazy, it's good. It's a good thing.
Yeah. When you started your Facebook or YouTube, did you feel like did you have some hesitation around maybe I'm too old, I'm not young enough, I'm whatever the case may be, because there are a lot of people who are even my age, you know, scared to start a YouTube
Mm-hmm.
channel or a Facebook channel or whatever because they feel like I didn't miss my mark
Yep.
or whatever. Um, do you have any hesitations around that? I don't know how old you are. I mean, you look young. I'm just
I'm
asking because
53. I'm
oh,
53.
so
I'll be 54 this year.
you look 33.
Oh, look,
Heard you.
he says that all the time. Uh, I did. I used to think all the time, I am old. I'm too old to be on social media. I mean, what am I gonna do? People gonna be looking, girl, go sit your old self down. But my coach, once again, knowing that I can't do this by myself and help me with my mindset, it's not about my age, it's about my story. And it's
Yeah.
about my experience because you can go talk to anybody professionally, you about your marriage, about anything. But today, most people want to hear experiences. What how did you get through that? Did that really happen to you? Because you can go talk to someone and they have never been through what you've been through. They just have a degree. And so now having that mindset, I have the experience that, hey, I'm not a therapist, I'm not this, I'm not that, but I have life experiences that I can help you with if you want me to share them with you. So that's where I'm at now.
So you just help somebody who is, in that age, 50, 40 something. You helped me just now, who might look at this and been thinking, I really want to start my YouTube channel or whatever channel they want to start. And you just gave them permission to do that.
Mhm. Yes,
So
yes.
Yeah, I find that these days us older folks, more experienced, seasoned, however you want to name it, frame it, in high demand on social media.
yes, we are.
In high demand. So content creation is a space where people our age, I'll be 53 Tuesday.
Oh,
And-
happy
yeah,
birthday.
yeah, I'm a tax baby, right? So um, and I think that's why a lot of people are gravitating, and that's why you've built the community that you've built. You guys are, because people want that. They want to know because again, still, I think this is not, a lot of people don't see longevity in marriages, as we talked about. Either, mom and dad, my mom and dad, they never got married. Her mom and dad, they never got married. So seeing a solid, strong, stable marriage, or at least what seems to be, right?
Yeah.
Um, People, they want to know how did it happen? How did it get there? So we're truly in high demand right now for
Hmm.
this type of content because people want to know because it's just not something they've seen growing up, maybe,
Yep.
right? So I applaud you guys, man, for joining the few of us who are in this space to try to promote healthy marriages and to say that, hey, man, you can go through some ups and downs, sure, that comes with the territory, but
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that you still can't have a loving, caring, strong, union that and be an inspiration for others. So kudos to you guys, man, for being on this journey. And it's great for us to get a chance to talk to you guys because now when I see your content, I'm like, man, I know that. I can connect more now, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, look, arrogant virgin tripping, man. Look at it, baby. Look at it. You know what I'm saying? So, but I think it takes moments like this for
Hmm.
us to really talk about it. Here's the other piece of that, though, right? It's happening. There are marriages that's successful and have some longevity, some tenure in their marriage, and
Hmm.
still happy, and it's not really in a corrupt, unhealthy, safe environments, right? There's still some loving and kind and gentle marriages and stuff going out there. But now it's up to us. At least we feel we got to tell a story.
Hmm.
We got to be out there, and we got to be on that army, kind of letting people know that, hey, yes, you see us this way, but really we have some issues just like you. We went through some of the things that you went through, but we just want to be an attest to that. It doesn't have to end there, right? You're going through it. And I feel like we all go through a test only to just be able to tell our testimony.
Yes.
So it's just one of those things where, we feel like we're in a space in the season now where we're like, you know what? Let's open up a little bit. Let's open up the curtains to our marriage and kind of let people in a little bit to kind of let them know that, man, you can make it, So anyway, that's just kind of where we're at with it.
It may not happen because, like you said, it's not a lot of people doing this, especially who look like us. So without you, maybe we are way, way behind. So thank you for what you and Tanya are doing.
Yeah, thanks for reaching out to me.
No doubt.
Your energy was amazing. I was trying not to answer back real quick. I was like, I'm gonna let her sit for a minute, but I want to be like, yes, I'll be on your. No,
I'm telling you, Erica, I do not do this. I do not reach out to people like this at all. I mean,
that was big. When she told me she reached out to somebody, I was like, in the inside, I didn't say nothing, but in the inside, I was like, for real? You reached out? Listen, I'm telling y'all right now, we on season 3. Every season is about 15 episodes. Every single couple we didn't actually interviewed, y'all might be the first or second one that she didn't bring.
Oh, really?
oh.
Hey, he said, "Hey, so you found another unicorn? What's going on?"
Right. She don't reach out. She don't. That's not her space to ask people. And our friends were easy, right? Our friends. So that was easy ones. But I'm talking about like outside of our little circle. Y'all might be the first one.
Thank you.
But you do reach out. You do reach out. So you do because you did.
You got to put it in the universe.
Yeah, you got to manifest. Sure. But she did reach out. She reached out to me and her energy, OMG, exclamation point. And then she went on with her thing. I love it. And I was like, Virgil, yeah, somebody reached out.
So Tanya, I'm gonna be honest with you. Whenever somebody sends her something that she's impressed with, I get an immediate screenshot of the comment. And I was like, who is it? She's like, I don't know. So thank you very much. We really do appreciate it.
Yes, it was great. I could not wait. I enjoy meeting married couples, and I feel like this is why we do this. At some point, something. At some point, your community has to come together, Kev. I mean, you've done this for 3 years. 45?
No, actually not 3 years. We did 3 seasons. So we actually
we're not even a year yet.
We're not even a year yet. June
will make a year.
June will make a year.
So three seasons, 45 episodes. That's a worthy accomplishment. And at some point, you need to get everybody together and expand our network. It'd be great to share with them and get something from them. Not telling you how to do your business, but
look at you. You got that from me.
I'm not a dead fellow.
Hey, no, actually, man, I truly do like that, Virgil, because I know that's something. You talking about like just all the couples, get all the couples together. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So
couples cruise.
So we've actually.
I go on a couples cruise.
You say you're scared now.
Oh, well, there's a couple cruises I'm scared of. It'd have to be the right one.
So that's man, it's kind of really like we're really trying to do our best, man, to just kind of let God lead us in this whole thing, because we feel like this is truly, even though it's something that we kind of do for enjoyment, we're kind of like you, Erica. We love to chat and communicate and connect with other couples. Right. I think there's just so much, value and worth, value and wealth in that, connecting with other couples. But at the same time, at the end of the day, what we pray and hope that is that God just continue to lead us in the way that we want to go. Because if we do it our way,
It ain't gonna work.
Man, we don't know. Well, this is the thing. So this is what we would be trying to do. We already be trying to set up a conference, a couples cruise. We'll be trying to do all this stuff already. But even though those things that we want to do, we just feel that there's a time and a season for all that.
Yeah.
And we're trying our best just to be, really obedient to letting God kind of show us the way how this going to go. Because at one point we almost like, man, I'm tired of this. And
you know when it's time. You'll know. Yeah, you'll let.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, for sure. So all that's in the work, but I do appreciate it though, man, because it is something that we've talked about doing. So tell me this, man. We're a little over, which I really didn't realize it. We're already over an hour. Oh my god. Yeah, we're over an hour. So yeah, man. But we want to be respectful of you guys' time. So I want to ask this last question: if you had to say anything to someone about, you know what? I'm gonna go this way. What do you guys value? What are your values as a couple? What do you value the most in your marriage as couples? And I'll give both of you an opportunity to kind of say, because it could be something different, but what do you value in your marriage?
Well, I can tell you right now, I value the trust I have in my wife more than anything I could probably say. I have no problem trusting her. I don't have an issue with her going anywhere with her friends. I don't have an issue with her uh, spending money. I don't have an issue with anything she does. I trust her wholeheartedly. That right there goes a long way. That creates a tremendous amount of peace. No doubt.
I love it.
That's good.
That's real good. And it's good that you have that. Yeah, absolutely. Come on, Eric. You got to top that. You got to top that, girl.
Us to write it. You should have told us to write the word down on a sheet of paper, and then we both hold up our word, because we're gonna say trust.
Why though? Okay, your reasoning for trust may be a little bit different.
Yeah, my trust. Same thing he said. It goes a long way. I trust Virgil with anything. I mean, when he used to be on deployment, I had no problem. I never thought, is he with somebody else? What is it? Never have ever thought that. And people used to say, you put your husband on a pedestal. He's never given me a reason to not trust him. So if something happened he's a good one, because I trust him with everything. I trust him. I can tell him anything, and I know it ain't gonna get back to nobody. I mean, yeah, I trust him because I know he trusts me, and he always says he's not a hypocrite. I'm never gonna ask you to do. I'm never gonna ask you to do something that I wouldn't do. That's a hypocrite, and yeah,
That's good.
I stand on that. I will never be a hypocrite. I will not hold anyone to a standard in which I don't hold myself.
Virgil, I
just see what I have to live.
listen. I'm about to say you are Mr. Perfect.
I don't know if I'm perfect. Right? My kids want to say that I'm perfect, but I'm not perfect. What I am is someone striving to be perfect. And if I fall short, that's good enough, right? If you try to be mediocre and you fall short, I'm not sure what that's called. So strive to be perfect, and if you fall short, you're still doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Do you see? Do you see?
I'm gonna start my own channel called According to Virgil.
Seriously. I mean,
I love it. I love it.
So much to be better. He has helped me to be a better person and to look at things through a different lens.
Wow.
Yeah.
When a married couple can say that to each other, you know you on the right path, because we have helped each other become better people as well.
Yeah.
For sure.
Sometimes you're like, is this really? I used to say that, is our marriage really this good, or is it? He was like, Once you go to therapy, it will be. No, I'm just
All right, so I'm gonna throw one more. I'm gonna throw one more at y'all, man. Since the vibe and the energy is real good. So if y'all had to, you know, help a couple, right, or anybody, right, just with some type of word of advice, um, what would that be? What would you tell someone, a couple, just to encourage them, without knowing their situation, right? Someone could be going through something right now, but without knowing their situation, how would you still encourage them? Because some people, they go through stuff in silence. They secretly about this stuff, but still they still need a word. They still need to be encouraged without them sharing their information and their personal stuff they're going through.
Yeah.
How would you encourage that? What would you say?
You go ahead.
My word for them would be risk and patience. Risk meaning be okay to not be so guarded. Take that risk on your other mate. Share it. Don't assume. And patience, be patient with yourself and be patient with him or her. Be patient.
Yeah.
I like it.
I would say don't view everything as a big deal, right? There are big things, there are big deals in marriage, don't get me wrong. But I think the majority of issues couples have is probably on an insignificant scale if you looked at it truly. Uh, and you have to be able to compromise. If you are structured in your way, you're not going to tell me what to do. You're not going to tell me what to wear. Is one of those.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Listen, I love to see my wife dressed up. It does it for me. So when she comes out with a bathrobe and those flippers on, that drives me crazy, right? But but it is what it is. And I don't make a big deal about it because it's not that big a deal. But I think most people view every little thing as, oh my God, this is the end of the world. We have a child like that. And I don't want young couples or even older couples to get caught up in, the small things. That would be my advice.
Yeah, I like it. Good stuff, man. Hey, man, this is. I could see you guys on another episode somewhere down the line for sure, man. I would
Okay.
love to continue to have you guys, man,
Yes.
later on, just kind of just as a check in and tap in and just to kind of see how you guys are doing and what's new in your life and what
Yes.
other nuggets you guys can share. Because I think just having some real and authentic conversations like this, just around marriage, I think people can listen in on this, man, and just kind of pull some little pieces, bite-sized pieces of things that they feel they can use to kind of really help their marriage. So I thank you guys for just being transparent and open and honest
Of course.
with us on tonight, man. We really do appreciate it. So anything else you want to say, baby?
Yeah, I want to say, that part too, because I would like to know, and I'm sure other couples would like to know, because you guys have been married for 30 something years.
Mhm.
Erica, you are in your prime years.
Uh-huh.
You've gone through, or maybe going through perimenopause or menopause. I would love for you guys to come back and talk and share a little bit about how, if you went through it, because some women miss it.
I'm
But
not going through it.
you're
And
not?
oh, look.
Excuse us.
Well, you may be one of the ones to miss it.
Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna keep claiming it.
Wow.
Know it when it hits, but it hadn't hit me yet.
But you're vegan, so they might have something to do with your diet.
That's what my doctor said.
Wow.
That's what my doctor said.
Interesting. But
So
we
yeah.
can come back and talk about that. But I want to say to you, Erica, I think you have, and ignited something in me again about wanting to share my story. I've written it in a book, and also I'm going to come out with my own book later on. But you inspired me to get out, because I told God, I said, whenever you bring me out of this, I am going to tell the world.
Nice.
I'm going to shout it from the mountaintop.
Yeah.
What you have done for me. And he's done so much for me. And I started to share my story a little bit, then I kind of got off and didn't share it no more because I was afraid, like you know, to just share my stuff and be so vulnerable with people. And then I have to just realize it's not about me. It's about that person that's going to be helped from my story. So you have inspired me to start that again.
Oh,
So
thank you.
It's fantastic. Tanya, we've enjoyed this.
Yeah.
This has been great. And you're right. However long we've been on, hour or whatever it is, it doesn't feel like that at all.
Yeah.
And
No.
It actually feels like they're sitting here and we just kind of
I know, I feel the same way. Like we're just having a conversation.
chit chat. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're awesome. They're awesome. Just awesome. It's awesome.
Everybody's just awesome.
Awesome.
Hey, we gonna fly to Huntsville and come
Come
to that kitchen.
Hey, hey,
No,
now listen, hey Tanya, give us a head start so we figure out how to turn that stuff on. We ain't been doing it.
I'm welcome any
We had to read
time.
the instructions how to turn that thing on.
You can do an episode in the kitchen.
We can.
For sure.
Yes.
For sure. I like it. I have
enjoyed
good deal, man. Well, hey, thank y'all so much again, man, for being on Couples Connect podcast. We really do appreciate it. And man, once again, tell people where can they find your content, where can they follow, subscribe, and all that stuff. Tell them one more time before we get on out of here.
We are on Instagram with color and Facebook WHIT with color. That's it. And we're also on TikTok with color.
There you go.
You're supposed to say all social media platforms.
Oh, all social media.
There you go. Hey, Virgil getting that lingo and everything. He getting it.
He's getting all the lingo. He's like on all social media platforms with color.
Yeah. There you go. Hey, well, we appreciate it. Hey, we hope you guys tune in. We're gonna be tapped in.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So once again, man, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Couples Connect. We really, really do appreciate, Virgil and Erica being here, telling their story, just a bit of their story to kind of share with you guys. Hey, if you want to comment, man, we'll drop a little something back to you. If not, we'll get Virgil on that for you right now because he likes to look at them comments. and we will respond, man. But other than that, man, we hope you enjoyed it. This is Couples Connect, man. My name is Kevin. This is my boo thing.
Tanya.
And we out. Peace.